Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Andiluni Anandita, but you can call me Luni. My student ID number is 20400012545. And now I want to explain about understanding phonology. The first question is, what do you think of these two definitions of phonology? Are these definitions clear enough to make you understand phonology? What 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 are your reasons? The first definition is quite technical and a bit confusing because it mentions including or excluding phonetics, which may make readers unsure about the boundary between phonology and phonetics. It also focuses more on systems of sounds but doesn't clearly explain what phonology does with those systems. And the second definition is clearer because it directly explains that phonology studies how speech sounds are organized and how they function in language. This helps readers understand what phonology is not only about sounds themselves, but also about how those sounds work together to create meaning in language. The second question is, what is phonology to the best of your knowledge? Phonology is the study of how sounds function within a particular language or across languages. It focuses on the way speech sounds are organized, how they interact with each other, and how they create meaning or difference in meaning. In other words, phonology looks at the patterns and rules that govern how sounds work in a language, rather than just the physical introduction of the sounds, which is studied in phonetics. The third question is, phonology studies how speech sounds are organized. What does this statement mean? The statement means that phonology focuses on how speech sounds are arranged and combined according to the rules of a language. It studies how sounds work together to form words and how changing a sound can change meaning. The fourth question is, there are two types of sound patterns. What are they? Explain your answer. The first is phonemic patterns deal with how sounds function in a language to make difference in meaning. For example, in English, the sound P and B make a difference between pet and bat. So phonemic patterns focus on how sounds are used as distinctive units in a language. The second is phonetic patterns deal with how speech sounds are physically produced and heard. They focus more on the actual pronunciation and the physical properties of sounds, like how the tongue, lips, and vocal cords move. The fifth question is, what do you know of minimal pairs? Minimal pairs are pairs of words that have different meanings but differ by only one sound. The change of that one sound creates a completely different word. For example, pin and bean differ but only the first sound P and B, but they have different meanings. The last question is, how many types of minimal pairs can you recognize? Explain your answer and give examples. There are two main types of minimal pairs. The first is initial minimal pairs, where the difference is in the first sound, like pet and bed. The second is final minimal pairs, where the difference is in the last sound, like cab and cab. I think that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.